Alright. I'm gonna start a different game. Whoa. Let's try it out, alright? There's so much sound. Okay, hold on. Alright, welcome to the world of Higurashi. When they cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play though, please just enjoy the life in Hinamazawa to its fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you'll enjoy the reward. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? There's a lot of Japanese in the corner. I think it's Japanese. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual person, organization, 1983, early summer of the 58th year of the Shauza era. Okay. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. If it was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly sobbing voice, and those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of cicadas remained annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She's no longer speaking. She is no longer speaking. The only voice crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there was none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why this pain? My eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away, except I stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it all away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. So the kindness makes me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Ow, because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Well then, very nice. perhaps I really did. Love you. Bum bum bum! Higurashi, when they cry. There's like 14 parts to this. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. Ah, I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring out in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, the quietness has begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I live now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. Come to think of it, it really wasn't a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I'm really confused. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad a mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then it's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Kichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Oh, I was napping. Ooh, what a background. Kichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from bullet train to local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. I think somebody took literal photos and they just kind of like made them into backgrounds. From there we take a car deeper into the mountains. They really did! They took real photos! Past the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly open up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa. I have a lot of names I can't pronounce. Also, how many introductions do we have? Even though we were still approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill up your lungs with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. I use big words in this game. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying the view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Getting up when you want, sleep when you want, work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. Oh, it was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Kichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. Oh, my lord, that's me. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. This is so specific. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Kichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that's what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Hurry, hurry! Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. Sounds like someone else we know from another game. The way I look at it, a guy my age walking into school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously, though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Reina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning. Morning? I don't know who's talking. Finally get yay, Reina-chan. Kichi-chun! Good morning! Oh, God. She has a different voice than that. Her cheerful greeting was fresh as morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Kichi-chun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust. Without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Reina has a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Reina seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Reina. No matter how long. Forever? Reina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. This guy's a creep. Have you ever read a romance novel, Reina? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing, you're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Reina? Or is that your mom? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Reina? Or was it your mom? Well, why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. The voices. She counted frantically on her fingertips, trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, yes you are, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Reina nervously opened and closed. This is a weird start to this. Opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me? Delicious. Huh? Pretty good. Just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It was truly a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Reina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at, Reina. I'll train you until you handle it like an average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep me on waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Reina back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Reina Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's so strange. Mi-chan! Good morning. Coming to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Ah, finally. You two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Oh, Lord, I don't know who's talking. Morning, Reina. And it's been a while, Ki-chan. How many years? Oh, God, I don't know who's talking to who. I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest and then went straight down, focusing at the point between my legs. So she says, saying that my crotch was cuter back then? Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Who is talking? Not only is he bigger, but he has quite a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I don't know who's talking. I'll introduce you next time to be sure you greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. I don't know what to do this entire conversation. Right now it's just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mian sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reaches for my fly, Raina begins to ramble in near panic. Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Raina tries to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it? Seeing the city again. Mian switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing to a topic something more befitting a pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in the toy stores. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games, Mi-chan? Mian nodded proudly as Raina giggled. Yep, I wanted Kit-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. I think I need to blow my nose. I got nothing. How sad. Oh well. Oh well. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send them to you in the mail, can't you? Well, I guess I have to now. I'm gonna get another game full of hot action. This time I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mian is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Raina, Mian's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's any game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Heh, of course. If Kit-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa! Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Raina looked back and forth between me and Mian. Mian gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Raina laughed happily. For such friendly conversation, you wouldn't think that I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, I should probably be in the about right for this place. play for about 15 more minutes. Why these names? Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was it there only one school. Come on, guys. Incorrect grammar. But there was only one class. Now that was more correct. Not only was there only one school. Never mind. I just can't read. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it's stayed the way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Mian, who had been the first walking Mian, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead, right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and into the room first. Heh. Too bad I wasn't gonna fall for that again. To think you'd given up the lead here. You meant for this to be the test of my skills. Mian chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. Well, what is it, you guys? Step back, Reina. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Satoko-chan it is? And here we go. Her name was Satoko Hoju. She was disrespectful, imprudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up just over that. The real problem was this. Quite obvious trap. The blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Satoko. A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Kid-chan. I guess that means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that relentlessly kept coming until at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, the eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upwards, so as I lifted my head to the door, there was thumbtack stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was a similar sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized, she had me hook, line, and sinker, and it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kitchen, watch out! Instinctively reaching to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. These pictures are so weird. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. Aha! My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Kichi-chan. Aren't you a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow! Seemed like I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. Oh, another one. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? Apparently all purple-haired girls have soft voices. If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Riki-chan. The pain's going away now. Yay! Riki-chan, good morning! Good morning to you, Reina. Good morning to all. Riki-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Riki-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over at her direction. Satoko was whistling rather deliberately, trying to avoid eye contact. I'm the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? Ugh! I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looked like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm sorry. Trying saying that. If you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. I can split plywood right in half. Eek! Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Riki-chan really is just so... Riki-chan is really just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Ah! It doesn't bother me. Ah! You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep fighting, yeah? Rika gently patted her head of her prankster friend. You would never guess that those two were the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Reina's expression drew ecstatic and she began to swoon. Oh, Satoko-chan is crying. So cute. You can't take them home. Oh, but they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit, it's fine. Reina kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Reina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then can I just look? Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Reina swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn to Reina in to the authorities. Forgive me, Reina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully to make sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. Ah, we made it in time. Arise, attention. Mion gave out the morning commands. Ah! Okay. Oh, I would love to continue forever, but it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock means it's turn-off time. Well, this has been kind of fun. Seems like this is going to go somewhere. Similar to the last game, I imagine it starts a little slow, builds character, and then develops all the other stuff. The backgrounds are a little strange, but I like the characters so far. Especially, okay, see, I can't even pretend to start naming them off, but hopefully, what happens? We'll see which one. I'll probably play a little more of the other game next week, and then, play a little more of this one. We'll just kind of do a little side-by-side deal. Because I think the story ones are fun. It's fun to read them. But the other games are fun because it's like actually playing a game. Anyway, I'll see you next week. We'll play some more things. Don't forget to leave a comment suggesting new games to play. And go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever. Follow, like, do all the things. Leave a comment. Chat it up. And until next week, I will see you later.